how do you see Islam helping you in your career as an athlete?
Every time, I see a picture or I see a video, it hurts every time, and it's the saddest thing every time, and it's the most blatant.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We're here with a very special guest, our brother Oday, mashallah, professional football player. Assalamu alaikum, akhi.
Alaikum assalam wa
Now,
rahmatullah.
mashallah, being a Palestinian in athletics, using your platform to also shine light on the issue of the Palestinians. What has that journey been like for you in the last 2 years? I mean, I can only imagine. We've been watching genocide being streamed in 4K. How has it been for you as an individual, having to, have your identity constantly, put in the media and people talk about, but you also know the situation of your brothers and sisters back home. What has that been like? And also trying to balance your own personal career.
It definitely hasn't been as hard as it is for the actual people who are enduring the genocide and the people who are under the occupation and who are being slaughtered, now. And every time, I see a picture or I see a video, and it hurts every time, and it's the saddest thing every time, and it's the most blatant disregard for human life. And as a human, as a humanitarian, it's something, that always hurts every time I see it. And for me to post about it, to talk about it, to continue to educate people on the current situation and what's going on there is the least I could do with the platform I've been blessed with by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And to use that platform to try to bring awareness to it is, like I said, is a minute thing I could be doing in a situation where people are dealing with so much more hardship and so much more tough situations and things like that. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I'm Palestinian, I'm proud, and to always speak up for my people before the genocide started has always been a main thing for me throughout my career, and it's something I always took pride in doing.
Allahu Akbar. And now look, we have a person like Khabib who's obviously well recognized in the athletics world. Also, we're here for an event with him, and we're going to be, inshallah, raising funds for Gaza. Why do you think it's important for people like Khabib, who also have a platform, to also talk about Palestine and to continue the conversation? Because there's a lot of people that, Palestinian or not, are not talking about it, are refusing, or scared for whatever reason to speak up. Why is it important to have someone like him as a representative for athletes also engaging in the dialogue?
I mean, I think he's the best example to represent humanity. I think at the end of the day, him being as victorious as he was in the octagon and being a humanitarian outside of it and just standing for the truth. I think a lot of people nowadays in positions and platforms don't stand for the truth. And I think they often pitter-patty around who's going to pay them to say certain things. And when you get that authenticity from someone who has no agenda but to be themselves and be a solid Muslim and continue to bring the ummah along, I think he's done an incredible job. I think him being here opens the eyes to a lot of people because these are true leaders in our world. It's not the politicians, and it's not the people who are, running for this, running for that. It's the people who have the most influence on the people. And these are the people like Khabib, people like myself, people who will continue to show people that there's other ways to go about your business instead of playing with people's lives. And there's other ways to, handle yourself in your career. The way Allah kind of blessed you with it is the way you should go about it. And I think he's done a phenomenal job. And I think him being here, speaks volumes to the youth, speaks volumes to the generation that understands what's going on. And for the people that understand what's going on is very wrong and who want to, feel like they're not alone. And who's the best to be, not alone with than Khabib, and subhanAllah, him being here and being around is just something I feel is only going to benefit everyone. And inshallah, we raise enough for Gaza and we continue, to put Gaza in the spotlight.
Inshallah. Now, obviously, as an athlete, are there things that you learned from Khabib in terms of his approach to his sport? I mean, obviously, very different disciplines, but, as an athlete, and I spoke to even Brother Hussein about this earlier, like, how does Islam infuse your ability to train and to kind of, does it provide you with more ability to be disciplined? Like, how do you see Islam helping you in your career as an athlete?
I mean, Islam, one of the most beautiful things about Islam is it's one of the most disciplined religions, one of the most consistent religions. And I think when people ask me all the time, hey, like, what's the secret sauce to success and being in the NFL and being an athlete? There's no secret sauce. Discipline. How disciplined can you be? In Islam, you pray 5 times a day, right? You give your zakat, you do your 5 pillars. These are non-negotiables. And when you're introduced to that earlier in your life, you understand what non-negotiables will do for you in your life, and then will do for you in your athletic life or your career, whatever it may be. So I think being Muslim has always prepped me in the form of being disciplined and seeing how, Khabib has been Muslim throughout his whole career and how he's continued to train throughout Ramadan. I think it's just one of those things that we're calloused by being Muslim early on, and then when it comes to actually using the callus, it comes in handy when the days are tough during Ramadan, and when maybe you don't feel like, maybe going to pray right away and stuff like that, but you understand that it's a non-negotiable. These are things set way before your time, and these are things that will be set way after your time. So it's important to continue to uphold that standard and understand that that standard is there for a reason, not to burden you, but to elevate you.
Allahu
And I
Akbar.
think when you look at that and you look how Islam translates from that to your work life, to your personal life, I think there's a lot of correlation there. And I think, it's why Islam's one of the fastest growing religions.
MashaAllah. Brother, you're an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for
Jazakumullah
having
khairan
me.
for your time, inshallah. May Allah continue to bless you. May
Ameen,
Allah
ya.
continue to use your khair and your abilities to benefit our people. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us a free Palestine in our lifetime,
Ameen, ya
inshallah.
Rab. Ameen.
Barakallah feekum.
Ameen.
Thank you very much for your time. Take care. Barakallah feekum. Assalamu alaikum.